Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something that might seem straightforward, but holds incredible power for your personal and professional journey.
Yeah.
Documenting milestones.
Mm.
And we're not just talking about those, banner achievements everyone celebrates.
Right, the big fireworks moment.
Exactly. But also those crucial smaller steps, the ones that often go unnoticed.
Yeah.
But they really build the foundation for bigger successes.
Absolutely. It's about shifting focus, isn't it? Moving from just the end result to, well, the process itself.
Yeah.
And by intentionally capturing these moments, the big ones and the seemingly minor ones, you gain a much richer understanding of your progress and your potential, too.
We've touched on journaling before, and today we're really zeroing in on how documenting milestones specifically acts as a catalyst, for clarity, motivation, and real personal evolution.
Yeah, sustained motivation is a big part of it.
And, for many people, having a dedicated tool can make this practice even more effective. We've looked at Listallian journals before, and their design, it really seems geared towards this kind of intentional tracking.
Oh, definitely. It's not just a blank notebook, is it? The features are clearly thought out for this purpose.
Like those numbered pages. That immediately gives you a framework, doesn't it? A kind of chronological backbone.
Exactly. It's more than just keeping things in order. It lets you see the accumulation over time. You can easily flip back, reference things, connect the dots.
And that table of contents they include. Genius. It's like an instant index to your own growth story.
Right. No more endless flipping trying to remember when you finally crack that tricky problem or hit that mini goal.
It's just located. It turns the journal from just like random entries into a really dynamic record.
And even the quality, the feel of the journal plays a part.
I think so. Anyway.
How so?
Well, that smooth ivory paper in the Listallian, that 120 GSM thickness, it just makes writing in it feel good. It elevates the act itself.
It feels less like a chore and more like a deliberate act of acknowledging your progress. Like you're giving your journey the respect it deserves.
Yeah, I can see that. The quality reflects the value you place on what you're recording. And even that little back pocket seems small, but...
Oh, super useful for ticket stubs, notes, little reminders.
Exactly. Those tangible bits that add another layer to the documented milestones. So our goal today, really, is to understand how actively capturing these moments, especially maybe with a tool designed for it, leads to those benefits. Clarity, motivation, real growth.
Let's start with just the basic power of writing things down. Why does that even work?
Good question.
Well, it's more than just making a note, right? The physical act, pen to paper, it seems to solidify thoughts and emotions in a way that just thinking doesn't.
Right. It engages different parts of the brain, doesn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, different neural pathways. It strengthens memory, allows for deeper processing. So when you write down an achievement, even a small one, you're encoding it more effectively. It sticks.
That makes total sense. Taking something fleeting and giving it permanence. And I can definitely see how that helps with clarity, especially when you're juggling a lot, feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, absolutely.
Writing down what you have done can really cut through that mental clutter.
Yeah.
Right? Gives you a sense of, okay, this is where I am. This is what I've accomplished.
Exactly. It creates that tangible record, that trail of evidence you can revisit, which is so important because, our brains often focus on what's left to do, the negativity bias thing.
The dreaded to-do list overshadowing the done list.
Precisely. So documenting milestones consciously directs your attention to the positive, to the progress. Over time, that helps build a more balanced outlook. And seeing it visually in a journal, that's really motivating.
Definitely. I had a friend, let's call him Mark. He was training for his first marathon, totally overwhelmed by the distance.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
But he started using a journal, just tracking his weekly runs, even the short, painful ones at the beginning. And after a few months, looking back at those filled pages, seeing the miles add up, it gave him such a massive confidence boost. It shifted his focus from the huge goal to the consistent effort.
That's a perfect example, seeing that accumulation builds momentum. And that brings us back to how a journal like a Listallian supports this. The numbered pages visually show that buildup.
Each filled page is part of the story.
And the table of contents lets Mark or whoever jump back to those moments. That's when I ran my first 10K. Reinforces that capability.
It's like creating a map of your own progress. You see the patterns, the connections, and if you hit a wall, you can flip back and see, okay, I faced something similar here, and this is how I got through it. It reminds you of your resilience.
Exactly. And again, don't discount the quality factor. If you enjoy using the tool, you're more likely to stick with the practice. A nice journal makes it feel less like homework.
So true. It makes it more intentional, more valued. Okay, so let's dig into how this actually fuels personal growth. It's not just about listing achievements, is it?
Not at all. It's really about understanding the process of growth. Ideally, when you document a milestone, you also capture some context.
Like what?
Like, what challenges did you face? What strategies worked or didn't? What did you learn? This turns the journal into a record of your evolving thinking, your problem solving. It encourages metacognition, thinking about your thinking.
Ah, okay. So it's not just did X, but how did I do X? What did I figure out about myself? What skills did I use or develop?
Exactly. And doing that regularly, you start seeing patterns, strengths, weaknesses, habits. You become more self-aware and you can consciously adjust your approach for next time. It's concrete evidence of development.
And that feeling of accomplishment, having that evidence is huge for motivation, right?
Crucial.
When you're facing something new and scary, looking back at that journal, seeing past obstacles you overcame, even small ones, it's got to boost your confidence. It's like building your own personal proof library.
Precisely. Each documented win is like a data point reinforcing a positive story about yourself. And consciously looking for those moments trains your brain to focus on progress, on persistence. It helps cultivate that growth mindset.
Yeah, seeing challenges as learning opportunities, not dead ends. My sister, when she was starting her own business, oh man, the first year was rough, really tough.
I bet. Startups are notoriously hard.
Totally. And she felt like giving up so many times. But she'd gotten into this habit, and maybe someone recommended it, of journaling every small win. A new lead, finishing a proposal, even just getting through a really difficult phone call.
Small victories.
Yeah. And when she felt totally discouraged, she'd force herself to reread that journal. It reminded her of all the tiny steps forward, the progress she was making, despite the struggle. It literally kept her going some days.
That's a fantastic illustration. Those small wins sustain you. It shows that progress isn't always a straight line up. There are dips, but the record shows the overall trend.
Okay, so for someone listening who's thinking, right, I want to do this, what are some practical tips? How do you make this effective?
Well, number one, I'd say, is break down those big, intimidating goals into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on achieving and documenting those. It feels less overwhelming, and you get more frequent hits of accomplishment.
Makes sense. Instead of write book, it's outline chapter 1, write 500 words today, edit section 2, document each one.
Exactly. And using prompts can really help with reflection. Simple things like, what's one thing I learned today? Or what challenge did I overcome? Or what small step did I take?
Gets the wheels turning.
Yeah, encourages deeper engagement than just listing a task.
I also think tracking the emotional side is valuable. Not just what you did, but how you felt. The excitement, the frustration, the satisfaction.
Oh, absolutely. That gives you insights into your resilience, your mindset shifts. It's the whole picture.
And definitely celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge them, note it down, maybe even how you marked the moment.
Yes. Reinforces the positive behavior, keeps motivation up.
And, like any habit, consistency. Even just a few minutes, regularly.
That's key. It adds up over time. And finally, don't just write and forget. Periodically review past entries.
Why is this so important?
It gives you perspective, especially when you're facing a new hurdle. You see how far you've come. You draw strength from past successes. It's incredibly powerful.
Okay, let's talk about procrastination. The enemy of progress for so many of us. How does milestone tracking help fight that urge to put things off?
Well, by breaking things down into those smaller, documented steps, you create a much clearer roadmap. That clarity itself reduces the overwhelm.
Ah, the overwhelm factor. That's often what leads to procrastination, isn't it? The task just feels too big.
Exactly. So seeing those smaller steps written down makes it feel less daunting, more approachable. You know what to do next.
Makes the abstract concrete. You have defined steps you can actually start.
And each time you tick off and document one of those mini milestones, you get a little boost, a sense of forward momentum.
A small victory.
Right. And that little victory fuels your motivation to tackle the next step. It creates this positive feedback loop. Progress beats inertia. Plus, focusing on documenting the current step keeps you in the present, reducing anxiety about the whole massive project.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
And celebrating these milestones, we touched on it, but why is actively celebrating, not just noting, so important? And how does the journal help there?
Reflecting on and celebrating success, big or small, is just crucial for building self-belief. It sustains you for the long haul.
Right.
The journal is that perfect, private space to not only record the win, but to consciously appreciate it, to savor it a little.
It's like creating your own personal highlight reel, but with your own commentary,
Hmm.
capturing the achievement and your reaction, the pride, the relief, whatever it was.
Precisely. Taking that moment reinforces the positive link between effort and reward. You're telling yourself, see, my work pays off. I can do this. Seeing that documented history builds real self-efficacy.
Okay, finally, let's broaden it out a bit. What about the mental health benefits? This sounds like it goes beyond just productivity.
Oh, definitely. Journaling in general is known to be a great outlet for processing thoughts and emotions. It's therapeutic.
Hmm.
When you reflect on milestones, the successes and the challenges overcome, you gain insight into your emotional patterns, your coping mechanisms. It's a safe space to just acknowledge feelings without judgment.
Like having a confidential chat with yourself. You can let out frustrations, admit anxieties, but also relive the joys.
Exactly. And documenting those highs and lows helps develop greater self-awareness and emotional regulation. Plus, focusing on progress, even when things are tough, can shift your perspective.
How so?
It moves you away from self-doubt and towards empowerment. It helps foster a more positive outlook, focusing on resilience and the fact that growth often happens through challenges, not just despite them. It contributes to overall well-being.
So, to kind of bring it all together then, documenting milestones,
Yeah.
it's way more than just a to-do list checkoff. It's this powerful practice for clarity, for motivation.
Mm-hmm. For personal growth through reflection.
Right, combating procrastination by breaking things down,
Encouraging celebration, building self-belief.
and even boosting mental well-being. It covers a lot of ground.
It really does. And for people looking for that dedicated space, as we said, tools like Listallian journals with their, thoughtful features, they can definitely enhance that whole experience.
Make it more intentional, more meaningful.
Exactly. Supporting that consistent reflection and really deepening the connection with your own journey.
So as everyone listening goes about their week, maybe take a moment. Think about the milestones you've already reached. Big ones, small ones. Acknowledge them.
Mm-hmm.
And then consider, how might intentionally documenting your ongoing journey amplify your progress and your appreciation for it? What story will your documented milestones tell looking back years from now?
Yeah, that's a powerful thought to sit with.